Alright, welcome back to the File Scoreboard podcast. I'm your host, Gyro Gaming, here with my co-host,
Adam the Atomizer.
and today we are going to be reviewing the game Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance. It's a remake of a game, I'm pretty sure, which is why I thought it was 2. But the game itself is I played the whole thing. Surprisingly, I played the whole game. And Atomizer, what about you? How much did you play?
Not a lot. With finals week happening, I barely had any time for it. Let's just say it was less than a half an hour.
Yikes. Well, hopefully it's enough to give it
to make the content for the video worth it.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let's go right into the review. So, gameplay. I'll take it away with gameplay. So, gameplay, it was very similar to like regular Kirby games, but I did appreciate the wide variety of power-ups you could collect in this game. And they also seem to have a progression with the types of power-ups as well. Like, you start out, there's like maybe 3 power-ups in the first level, but then like as you go further and further, they have more and more power-ups and stronger power-ups too. And then there was an interesting glitch. I don't really know what category to put this under, so I'm going to put it under gameplay. There was an interesting glitch that I found, where if you hold up and sideways and then press the B button, aka the button to release air from your mouth, then you infinitely float upwards, and while filling your mouth, and then if you're pressing B, you release it. So basically, I for a lot of levels, when it was like a section where I would float at the top of the screen and then shoot the air out, making me go a little bit faster through levels, as well as protecting myself from the front from any enemies that came out, because I'm shooting out the little like air cloud to hit enemies.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting way to like experience it. Like I'm pretty sure it's a glitch. It would feel weird if that was like an actual in-game mechanic, but it was like holding basically diagonally up and right. Like, or I guess you could technically do up and left, but why would you want to go backwards?
Yeah.
And then another thing in gameplay that I wanted to add was I appreciated the some of the sword fight, some of the boss fights that they had. All of the boss fights, well, not all of the boss fights, but most of them were pretty fun. And all of them had the ability, you could bring in a power-up to try and fight the boss fight, or you could, they always provided a method that if you lost your power-up, or if you went in without it, there was a way that he would throw some sort of projectile, and you could, like, hit him with it. Or I guess there was one boss level where they didn't have that, but they provided you with a power-up, so you weren't going to miss out on the opportunity to do damage, which I found was interesting, the way they managed to implement different, like, throwables that you could hit the enemies with, just in case you didn't have a power-up. I'll talk more about some of these features that were in the game in separate categories, but for me, I really enjoyed the gameplay loop. Obviously, I beat the whole game, which is why I'm giving gameplay a 25 out of 25.
Oh wow, that's a really high score. That's a perfect score, actually. Alright, I believe that makes it my turn. So, for gameplay, I actually quite enjoyed this one, given the little bit amount of time I played. Like, I've only ever played one Kirby game before this, being Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which also is a GBA title, so I was able to compare my experience with that to my experience with this one. And like that being said, the game played very similar to that. Only, given the fact that it was a remake of a Kirby game from before, it was a lot more straightforward than the other one was. That being said, I do enjoy the classic Kirby formula of like going through the levels, sucking up the enemies to get their power-ups, and using those power-ups in any way you want. So, during my playthrough, this is just a funny story to share my experience. So, the first boss fight of pretty much any Kirby game is Wispy Woods. So, I had the plasma power up from the level, and what I did was I just went in, I just spammed the plasma power up and killed it in like 5 seconds. Like, I do remember him being able to shoot some projectiles that like, and even like Kirby himself can suck up air and then shoot it as a projectile if he needs to. So like, you have that ability built into you anyway. But the power-ups make it like 10 times easier depending on the circumstances. But I did enjoy that the first few levels at least were quick enough to beat that I could fit it into my busy schedule. All that being said, like, I do enjoy the classic Kirby formula, but I can't say I was as big of a fan of it as Joyride was. I don't really have any main complaints. It's just like, it's kind of simple for its time. Then again, it was a remake of a early game, so I can't really give it too much flack. So, all this aside, my score for gameplay is a 19 out of 25.
Oh, nice. That's not that bad. You were making it sound like you were gonna give it away. Where's the score?
No.
All right, you want to take it away for originality too?
Alright, so like I said earlier, like when I was doing my research, the game isn't as original as I was hoping, like because it was the remake of the NES title Kirby's Adventure. That being said, I did learn that this game has a 4-player mode for the main story, as opposed to what the NES title had. So you could play it with 4 players going through the main quest, which I didn't get to experience, but I bet would have been really fun with 3 friends. And I don't know if you encountered this during your playthrough, Gyroid, but supposedly you're able to unlock the ability to play as Meta Knight in this game.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't unlock that.
Well, supposedly that mode is in there, and they say it's a lot of fun. I didn't get to experience it because I didn't get nearly that close. But that being said,
I wonder
like,
how you unlock it.
I don't know. I don't remember doing enough research to actually see how to unlock it. I just know it's an unlockable feature.
Okay.
But yeah, like, given the fact that its distinctions from the original are the graphics, the 4-player mode, and the Meta Knight mode, this gives originality a better score than what I would have given it had it been just a straight up remake. It's making it a 17 out of 25.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I didn't judge originality based off of like the original game that it was made off of. I guess maybe I should have, but I was kind of just thinking of it as a Kirby game standing on its own, because like, while it is a remake, it's probably, it kind of does stand on its own in terms of like, you probably wouldn't play the original version over this version.
Mm-hmm.
So I rated it just in general amongst games, and
Right.
I felt like there were some very original mechanics. Like, I enjoyed, like, there was that one mini game after you beat each level where it's like a springboard, and if you time it properly, you earn a 1-up, or if not, you just earn points.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that part was pretty unique and fun. And then just some of the boss battles were like really creative. Like, the second to last boss battle is a boss fight with Meta Knight, but they give you the sword power up at the beginning, so it's literally a sword fight against King Dedede. Not King Dedede, against Meta Knight, which I thought was
I got
funny.
what you meant.
And then the final boss is a 3-phased boss where it's King Dedede followed by this like giant flying ball thing, followed by like a giant tornado thing. I don't really know what they were, but like I found the 3-tiered boss battle interesting, because if you died on a stage of the boss battle, it would bring you back to that stage. So like, once you beat King Dedede, you continue on with the same amount of health. Like, say you have like 10 lives or something, and like there's 6 health bars per. If you lose 3 lives in the first section, like, they bring you back to the first section over and over again until you win. You win the first section with like 2 health bars left. Now you're in the second. Now you're in the second phase of the boss battle with 2 containers of health. But then once you die in that section, you're back with 6 on the second section.
Oh, wow.
Which I did appreciate. Because if I had to beat all 3 in a row with only 6 containers of damage, I would probably have not beat the game. Well, I probably would have. I don't know.
Nearly that merciful.
Oh yeah.
No, like this is a completely unrelated side tangent for you guys, but bonus content. But when I played Amazing Mirror, which is meant for 4 players, but I can play solo, like, if I died in that boss fight, it sent me straight back to the beginning.
Oh wow.
Yup. Anyway.
But yeah, I thought a lot of that stuff was very original, so I gave originality a 20 out of 25.
Nice. I could see where the scoring pattern of this episode is going to go. Given I don't have much to rate it off of, I guess it makes sense.
Yep, and overall feel. So for overall feel, I did enjoy like the atmosphere of this game. I did enjoy the controls of this game. Obviously, I figured out like a little bit of a workaround for a lot of sections with like the whole glitch where you can like infinitely like spout air while you're flying upwards. But like in general, like even besides that, like I felt like the controls were pretty natural. The abilities were just super fun to play around with. Some of them more than others. Like my favorite power up was the laser and the UFO.
Oh, UFO's busted.
Yeah, those 2 were my favorite, but I mostly went with the laser on boss fights.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. There was also an interesting mechanic where there were like hidden buttons in like I don't know how many levels, probably all of them, but I only got like maybe half of them, where it would unlock different side areas to unlock like the mini games that you could earn lives at. I don't know how much of the levels you played, but like there are certain like levels that you unlock that earn you lives. Like there are these different mini games.
I gotcha.
Like there was like a Kirby grinding on a rail. There was Kirby like doing a hot potato but bouncing a bomb off their head.
Oh jeez.
There was Kirby reaction time basically where there was like a countdown, or not a countdown. It was like you had to press the A button at the proper exclamation point timing. Like when the exclamation point shows up on the screen, then you press the A button, and then if you beat the reaction time of the computer, then you beat them, and you keep going until you lose.
I gotcha.
I think there's another one, but I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, those added to the overall feel as well, because it's like it kind of gave like a bit more of the world to you when you unlocked all those things, which I thought was fun. But my score for overall feel is a 25 out of 25.
Oh wow, you really like. Is this gonna go higher than the Metroid game?
Don't be so sure.
Okay. Alright, so, overall feel. I think the game felt really comfortable. Like, Kirby controls exactly like you'd expect. Like, he flies around, action button to suck the enemies up, down button to swallow the enemies, the button again to spit it out. It's a very Kirby set of controls. Kind of like how Wario felt like Wario during his game. Like, Nintendo knew what they were doing with the controls, so I give them that. The audio does match what I would expect from a Kirby game. It's light, it's airy, it's whimsical, and like I just had a good time listening to it, you know? And, like the graphics too, like were definitely an improvement from they about matched the style of Amazing Mirror because they came out around the same era, but they were definitely an improvement from the NES days for sure. Honestly, I just enjoyed the way the game felt. Like, obviously I didn't get very far, but what I did go, I was able to like zoom through a lot of levels, not through the same exploit that Gyroid had, but I could honestly just fly and then use Spark to get any enemies away from me. So I had a fun time doing that, which is how I was able to get my gameplay in less than half an hour. So overall feel for me is 20 out of 25.
Oh wow, it's pretty good. You want to take it away for replayability?
Yes,
I don't know
I
really
will.
how much thoughts you have on that, but
It's interesting. So, replayability. While this Kirby game was a lot of fun, it's not one that I can see myself playing immediately from choosing from my library. on like say a random Wednesday, you know. Well, I did enjoy playing it, kind of like I enjoyed playing Amazing Mirror. Like, oh, this is a fun Kirby game. But I've still got games like Legends of EA, and I like Hogwarts Legacy, and I would rather choose those over this Kirby game, because the appeal is there, but it's not the game I would choose to cure my boredom with, you know? I will say,
that makes sense.
The inclusion of the mini games, and then the Nightmare mode, or spelt with a K, by the way, for Meta Knight, might warrant me coming back for another play, just not right away, and not while I have other games to play. I tend to say that a lot with these games, but honestly, that's just my opinion. You can hate me for it, you can love me for it, I don't really care. So, this is going to be, like, in addition to the other one, my lowest scoring category, 17 out of 25.
Oh, wow. I mean, your score overall is still pretty decent.
Because it's
For
a
me,
decent game, yeah.
yeah. I didn't know what to expect with the little bit of time you actually played it, but for me, the replayability, like, I mean, I already beat the game, so it's kind of hard to say that I would come back to it. So I'm not judging it based off of that. I did, however, judge it off of the replayability within the game itself. So, like, sometimes, like, obviously I would lose to the boss battles and I had to play them again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it wasn't super frustrating to lose because, like, I feel like the boss battles, while like sometimes difficult, weren't like overly long, so it didn't feel like you were like bashing your head against the wall trying to beat them.
Right.
If that makes sense. So.
No, it makes sense.
The replayability wasn't that bad, but as you guys have probably figured out by now, replayability is not my strong suit. I'm not a huge fan of replaying things. So, my replayability score is a 19 out of 25.
Which is, incidentally, your lowest score this round.
Yes, which is my lowest score. So, that puts my overall score at an 89 out of 100.
Leaving my overall score at a 73 out of 100.
Okay, so that's squarely... Oh wait, yours is in B tier, actually. You thought it was a B tier game? I'm gonna have to pull you up to A.
Like I said, I don't know how the tiers work. I can never remember. I should probably write it down. I just added up the scores I got.
I think I'm gonna have to drag you up to A tier. I don't think I can allow you to put Kirby in B tier, especially when we have games like Wario Land and Metroid Fusion, which are similar. But I feel like Kirby, in my personal ranking, Kirby is above Wario Land and below Metroid.
That's honestly a fair assessment. Like, I don't see Kirby being in a B tier unless you had actually agreed with me. But like, it was what my scores had added up to, so I am willing to bump it up to A tier. You said it was like above Wario, below Metroid?
Yeah. Personally, I had put it above Mario Party 7, but I don't see you relenting on that front.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Like, for me, it was Metroid Fusion, Kirby, Mario Party, but they're all within 1 point of each other. But
so if I had to put it at A tier, then for me it would be Metroid, Mario Party, Kirby, Wario.
Okay, so Kirby is between 88 and 80. What would you say about an 87 or an 86?
I can agree to... well, I want to leave a little bit of room in between Mario Party 7 and Kirby just in case, so let's give it an 86.
Alright, that sounds okay to me. On my personal ranking, it's a little bit higher, but I'll take it. I'll take the A tier that I got.
Yeah, you got the A tier, just keep it.
Yeah, I got the A tier, and it's above Wario Land, which is what I feel. Like, Wario Land's not that... It is, like, pretty decent as well, but, like, I just enjoyed the controls and the game of Kirby better. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I can't justify in my head putting it below Wario Land.
No, I gotcha. Wario Land was interesting and fun, but I will say Kirby was a lot more fun to play. Well, not maybe a lot, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, personally, like last week I had put Wario Land in B tier, so
That's true. I'm the one that dragged up to A tier.
but my B tier on Wario Land was way lower than your B tier on Kirby, so
That's true. Like I dragged you a ways up for this A tier.
yeah, so I think it's fair to where we put it. And if you compare our overall scores last time to this time,
Exactly.
I think both of us had higher scores overall comparative.
See, this is why we do the total scoring for the tier list as well, to actually compare our scores from what we got from these other games. Instead of just like generally like bang, B tier, bang, A tier, you know?
Yeah. You know, it would be interesting, I just thought of. I don't think it would work very well, but if we combined both of our overall scores and divided them by 200 to make, or divided them by 2 or whatever, however you make the math end up at 100. I think it's divided by 2.
Yeah, I think it's divided by 2.
And you both add both of our scores divided by 2, and then that's the rating.
Yeah, I'm
feel
not
like that
entirely
would-
sure how that would work.
I feel like that would significantly change some of our ratings.
And
for
it would change the
overall
dynamic of
scoreboard.
the show too. It would take away the negotiation aspect.
Yeah, I like the negotiation because, like, I like being able to like have a sway on your opinion, or you can have a sway on my opinion.
Exactly. Like, it's never been fully one person's always trying to drag up the other. Like, we've been taking turns doing that, or even like in the case of one of these games, we actually agreed wholeheartedly.
Yeah, the one game that we decided F tier or not F tier, it was like C tier. It was like D tier or something.
It ended up in C tier, annoyingly.
It ended up in C tier. I'm surprised. I thought it was a D.
It's because we
was a
gave
D
it
tier.
it's because we gave it a fair shake. That's why.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's at 32, so it's barely in C tier.
Barely.
I guess there could be better. There could be worse games.
Although I would not complain if there were enough games in C tier to force it down to D tier.
That would be interesting. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you can just like force it down
No,
there.
I know. It would be funny though.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of games, what is your next week's game?
Okay, so when I was perusing my list of games, I came across something that I thought would be interesting because it's a game I have not played in many years, or at least like I played. I don't know if it was a sequel or something like that, but I couldn't decide between the SNES version or the GBA remake as part of the Super Mario Land games. So, what I ended up choosing was sticking with the console that he and I have been agreeing on so far, the GBA version of Super Mario Land 3, aka Yoshi's Island.
Oh, Yoshi. Oh, wait, Yoshi's Island. I thought you were saying Super Mario Bros. 3.
No,
So
Super Mario
you mean-
Land 3.
Oh, so you mean like the Yoshi's Island game?
Uh-huh. There is one for Super Mario Bros. 3, but I went with Yoshi's Island, because it's not straight up a Mario game, it's a Yoshi game.
That is an interesting choice. I remember playing, like, we had a DS version of Yoshi's Island.
I remember playing the
And-
crap out of that game forever ago.
Yeah, I also played the crap out of that game
Now,
when we
I
were
don't know if it's
younger.
the one-to-one remake to the DS version, or if it's just, like, different somehow, but we have yet to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's the same or if it's different, but if it's the same, there might be some biases coming out.
That's what we're here to
We'll
find
see.
out, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only game so far on this list that I guess 2 games we played when we were children were Mario Party 7 and Shrek 2.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been doing a good job branching out into different
We've
games.
been keeping it varied enough, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of different games, for the patrons, I wanted to let them know here that we decided that one of the perks of being a patron is we are going to let you guys choose our game every 10 episodes. So,
I'm calling this perk
If-
the Patron's Pick.
yes, the patrons pick. Every 10 episodes, the patrons get to choose our game that we play. Right now, we have one patron, so we'll just let them choose the game. But if we have more than one patron, then we will
Put up a poll
have
somewhere.
we'll put up a poll. I think you can put up a poll on the Patreon. we'll probably put out a post where you guys put your suggestions, and then we'll put a poll of like the top suggestions.
Yeah.
But for now, we have one patron, so we'll just let them choose every 10 episodes.
I was gonna say, like,
Until
when
we get
should we
more.
put up said comment post / poll in regards to when we're recording these episodes?
Well, I'd put it like maybe after episode 7 or 8, because like we need time to get the responses.
All right, Future Jai right here. So apparently the last minute or so of my audio cut out. So I'm just going to cut to the chase. Thank you guys for watching. Check out our podcast on Apple, Spotify, my YouTube channel. Check out Atomizer on YouTube and Twitch. And we will see you guys next time. Later.